or in payment of current liabilities. Now, this one also includes negotiable instruments like checks. For checks to qualify as cash, it must be acceptable for deposit and immediate credit to your account. On the other hand, ito ba to? The cash equivalent are highly liquid investment acquired 3 months before maturity. So these are the components of your cash and cash equivalent. So for example, to sa number 1 natin. So Tricia Company provided the following information with respect to cash and cash equivalent at year end. So we are asked to determine the cash to be presented in your statement of financial position at year end. So ang tanong lang po, cash, focus on the definition. So again, cash includes cash on hand, cash in bank, cash fund, and the negotiable instrument. And to qualify, it must be available for use in operation or in payment of current liability. So yung first account natin, checking account on First Bank. So this is cash in bank for use in operation. So that one qualifies. Now, the next one is checking account at Second Bank. So nakita po natin negative, meaning overdraft. Remember the rules. Kapag ka po meron tayong 2 or more account in one bank, you can offset. Else, this one must be recognized as current liability. Now, it looks like we only have one account with the second bank. So this one must be recognized as current liability as there is no way to offset. Okay? So current liability po. The next one is value-added tax account. So ano po ba ito? That is a fund set aside to handle payment of value-added tax. Value-added taxes are current liability. E de, na-meet niya po ito, available for use to pay a current liability. So the value-added tax account must be recognized as part of your cash. Money order. So yung money order po, part po nito, So upon presentation, it will be in cash to you, so that qualifies as part of cash. IOU from President. This is receivable advances to your officers. So this is not cash. No sufficient fund checks. Anong sabi natin? Checks to qualify must be acceptable for deposit. No sufficient daw po. So ibig sabihin walang pondo. Talbog po yung cheque. So this one will not qualify as cash. The next one is payroll account. That is cash fund set aside to handle payment of payroll. Payroll is part of operating expense. So na-meet niya po ito. Available for use in operation. So in that case, payroll account qualifies as cash. So in other words, ano po yung nag-qualify sa atin? Checking account at First Bank, 1,200,000. You have the value-added tax account of 250. The money order of 100. And the payroll account of 750. So these are the components of your cash account. Okay? So total cash to be recognized must be 2,300,000. Okay, next please. Liz, pakitawag nga ng babasa for the next problem. Paganda to. Meron ba kayong problem with you? Do you have the problem with you?
Sir, sa amin pong kabanatuan, wala pa po.
Wala. Oh.
Sir, same din po sa Pampanga.
Wala rin sa Pampanga. Hindi kayo nabigyan. Liz, magsesend ako sa iyo ngayon. Paki-message mo nga ako sa ating messenger. Sa messenger mo, Liz. Tapos you share it with the other schools. Yung sa Pampanga and Cabanatuan. Ano pa yung kasama dyan na wala? Liz, nag-message ka na ba, Liz? Mag-message ka lang. Tapos, ano ang kita doon? Can you hear me, Liz? Hello? Hello?
Sir, wait lang po. Hindi ko po kasi makita yung ano.
Yuli Balya. Nakita mo ba, Liz? ULY, tapos space BALLA.
Sir, sorry po. Hindi ko po talaga makita.
Dali nakita.
Po sa all po, sa Antipolo campus po. Bali na sa
Antipolo meron?
yes po.
Antipolo?
Opo.
Antipolo, pakipost ka, please. Pakipost lang para magkaroon ng kopya si Pampanga and Cabanatuan.
Nasa chat box na po.
Nasa chat box daw, everybody. Sige, Liza, tumawag ka na, please. Liza?
Shea Reyes po, sir.
Anyway, you see my screen, right?
Yes po, sir.
So pwede nyo nang ba diretso din sa screen muna while waiting for your copies. Okay na, Liza?
Yes po, sir. Natawag ko na po.
Yes. Yung mga tinatawag na wala dito, no? Yung hindi sumasagot, pakilista mo lang yung mga pangalan tapos submit to your chair. So, ibig sabihin, meron kasing iba na pumapasok tapos iniiwan lang.
Yes po, sir. Noted po.
Thank you. Parang hindi ko matinig yung tinawag mo.
Sir, yung number 2 daw po ba yung babasahin?
Yeah, number 2. We're done with number 1.
The following information has been extracted from the accounting records of the Sunflower Company at December 31, 2003. Cash on hand, undeposited sales receipts, 40,800. Certificate of time deposit with maturity of 3 months, 1 million. Customers notes receivable, 40,000. Reconciled balance in AA Bank checking account, negative 14,000. Reconciled balance in BB Bank checking account, 374,000. Balance in CC savings account, 342,400. Customers post-dated check, 54,000. Employee travel advances, 64,000. Cash and bond and sinking fund, 48,000. Bond sinking fund investments, 323,600. Postage stamps, 17,200. What total amount should Sunflower Company report as cash at December 31, 2023?
Okay, thank you. So again, yung pong question natin, Kas, So ganito po lagi ang gagawin nyo. Kapag kayo ay nagsosolve ng problem, uunahin nyo lagi yung question. What amount should be reported as cash at the end of the year? So for reporting, adjusted, ang tanong lang dito, cash and not cash equivalent. So again, you just focus on the definition. First one is cash on hand. Cash on hand is available for use in operation, so that qualifies. Certificate of time deposit, 3 months. Dito po siya papasok sa cash equivalent. But for now, our concern is only cash. So hindi muna natin siya isasama, Customers notes receivable. So, obvious po, receivable po ito. Okay? Reconciled balance with AA Bank. So, AA Bank, negative po. Again, check mo kung meron dalawang account kay AA Bank. Pagka wala, current liability yan. So, it looks like we only have one account with AA Bank. So, you just consider this as a current liability. Whereas, checking account with BB Bank, ayan, positive po. That is cash in bank available for use in operation. Okay? Savings account, 342,400. Another cash in bank available for use in operation. So that one will qualify. Customers post-dated check. Ano ba yung post-dated check? Tinanggap mo ng December, dated January. So maide-deposit mo pa lang po yan by January. Okay? So, checks to qualify must be acceptable for deposit. Since that one will not be accepted as of the FS date, that one remains a receivable. Okay, bakit po receivable? Tumanggap ka ng bayad sa customer. Kaya lang post-dated para pong walang bayad na naganap. So that one is a receivable. Okay? Employee travel advances. So this one is more of prepayment or advances to your employee. This will be paid back by the employees, right? Now, cash in bond sinking fund. Ano po ba ito? This is cash set aside to handle payment of bonds payable. Ito po, merong cases po that this one qualifies as current and sometimes non-current. Okay? Now, sabi natin kanina, this is a fund. Cash fund po, set aside to handle payment of bonds payable. Pagka po binigay yung maturity date ng bonds, say the bonds payable will mature next year, current liab, mamimit niya ito. Pero kung wala pong bilanggit about the bonds payable or the maturity date of the bonds payable, normally the maturity is 5 years, 10 years, sometimes 20 years. Right? So, in that case, your bonds payable is non-current. Kapag ka po yung fund do not qualify as part of cash, the category parallel the intention. If that is intended for a non-current, that one should also be recognized as non-current. But this one must be an asset. Kasi po, cash fund po. So, since with this one, we don't have reference as to maturity of your bonds. Therefore, this one must be presented as non-current asset. Sinking fund investment. This is more of investment. This is not cash. Postage stamps. So yung pong postage stamp natin is more of supplies. And this is not cash. So in other words, ano lang po ang nag-qualify? Your cash on hand, BB Bank, and CC savings account. So only those items qualifies as part of your cash account. So cash on hand amounts to 40,800. Reconciled balance with BB Bank is 374. CC Bank is 342,400. Can you follow?
Yes,
Yes,
po.
sir.
Okay, so yung solution natin, ibibigay ko sa inyo mamaya. I'll give you time to have a screenshot of that. So nakita niyo po, wala naman tayong ginagawa kundi we just focus on the definition of your cash account as we're looking for cash. Okay? Next, please. Liza, tawag ulit, please.
Renz Tabernilla po.
Your audit of the December 31, 2023 financial statements of Junicio Corporation reveals the following. Current account at Prime Bank, 30,000. Current account at Prudent Bank, 135,000. Treasury bills acquired 3 months before maturity, 300,000. Treasury bills maturity is December 31, 2024, 1,500,000. Payroll account, 390,000. Foreign bank account, restricted, translated using the December 31, 2023 exchange rate, 2 million. Postage stamps, 1,250. Employees post-dated check, 4,500. IOU from the Vice President, 8,000. Credit memo from a supplier for a purchase return, 8,100. Traveler's check, 21,000. Money order, 12,900. And petty cash fund, 3,000 in currency and expense receipt for 12,000. 15,000. What amount would be reported as cash and cash equivalents in the statement of financial position on December 31, 2023?
Okay, so this time pinagsama na po yung question cash and cash equivalent. This is the first item in your balance sheet, right? So yung cash equivalent natin, ito po ang titingnan nyo lagi. The acquisition date must be within 3 months before maturity. Kahit po ang maturity niyan ay next month, pero in-acquire mo a year ago, it will not qualify as cash equivalent. Dapat po yung acquisition date must happen within 3 months before maturity. Okay, so ibig sabihin 3 months or less po within maturity to qualifies as cash equivalent. So, tignan natin. First one, account, current account at Prime Bank. Again, negative. Pagka negative, ano pong titingnan? Meron bang other account with Prime? Pag wala, what do? You classify this as a current liability. Okay? Now, current account at Prudent. Ayan, positive po. So this one is cash in bank available for use in operation. Okay? Treasury bills. Tingnan nyo to. Acquired 3 months before maturity. And then, pasok po din sa definition natin ng cash equivalent. These are investment acquired 3 months before maturity. So, isasama po natin, as we are asked for the cash and cash equivalent this time. Treasury bills. Maturity is 2024. Your FS is 23. Parang hindi po siya papasok dito sa acquisition within 3 months before maturity. So, this one is more of a short-term investment. Payroll account. That is cash fund set aside to handle payment of payroll. Payroll is operating expense. So that is available for operation. That will qualify. Foreign account. Restricted. Anong sabi natin? Dapat available to be recognized as cash. If there is restriction as to withdrawal, it will not qualify as cash. So, anong category po dito? Category must be non-current asset. Okay? Non-current asset po yan. Postage stamps. Postage stamps, wala po doon sa ating cash, wala po doon sa ating cash equivalent. So this is more of repayments. Or normally, you use a supplies account for this one, right? Employee post-dated check. So bakit ba merong employee post-dated check? Ang sistema po kasi, kapag ka nangungutang ang empleyado, hinihinga natin ng cheque. Nangutang ngayon, i-issuean tayo ng cheque, dated kung ano man yung terms. Kung 1 buwan o 2 months, ganun po ang magiging date note. Kaya po nagkakaroon tayo dito ng employee post-dated check. So this is para pong kabayaran doon sa kanilang inutang. But the check will not be acceptable for deposit right now. So this one will be classified as a receivable or advances to your employees. IOU is also advances or receivable from employees. Credit memo from supplier for purchase return. Okay, pag nagsauli ka, it will be credited to your account, right? So this is just an offset to your account receivable. Traveler's check. So ito po, acceptable po yan for deposit anytime. So that is a negotiable instrument that qualifies as part of cash. So with the money order, upon presentation, it will be in cash to you. So that will qualify as cash. Okay? Petty cash fund. Pagka petty cash fund po, titignan nyo lang po yung natira. Natirang pera. Ano ba yung petty cash fund? That is a small fund set aside to handle payment too small to be made by check. Right? So, we set up 15,000. But as of the FS date, what is left is only 3,000. The rest, ginamit na po natin. Yung 12,000 must be recognized as expense. Only 3,000 qualifies as cash. So yung petty cash fund po, pasok po dito yan. Cash fund for use to handle payment of expenses too small to be made by check. Normally kasi, impress system tayo eh. Di ba? Lahat ng expenses babayaran through checks. Kaya lang, mayroong pagkakataon na hindi po applicable yung check. Halimbawa, inutusan mo yung messenger. Punta ka nga doon sa Angeles. Bibigyan mo ng pamasahe, i-checking mo ba? Siyempre, hindi po. Kaya po, dinesign natin yung petty cash fund para doon sa maliliit na expenses na hindi natin pwedeng i-check. Okay? So again, for FS purposes, yun lang pong natitirang pera out of your petty cash fund must be included to your cash account. So in other words, ano-ano po yung nag-qualify dito? Prudent bank. Ito po, dahil kasama si cash equivalent, kasama na po itong treasury bills. This is cash equivalent. The payroll account. The traveler's check. The money order. And petty cash fund. So those are the items that will be recognized as part of your cash and cash equivalent. Okay? So dun kay Prudent Bank, we have 135 treasury bills, 300 payroll account, 390 the traveler's checks of 21,000, money order of 12,900, and the petty cash fund. Again, you only include the remaining money. The remaining money left out of your petty cash fund. Okay? Pagka po walang replenishment, ganun lang po yan. So the correct amount of petty cash must be 861,900. Okay? Next, please. Liza?
Ay po, Lily po.
Yes?
Number 4, a count of petty cash fund on January 3, 2023 revealed the following composition. Bills and coins, 7,300. Vouchers, December 2022 dates, 850. January 2023 dates, 200. IOUs, all dated December 2022, 4,200. Employees check dated December 27, 2022, 4,200. Employees check dated January 14, 2023, 4,250. Unsigned pay envelope payable to an employee. The envelope has been opened and the money has been removed. 5,000. The balance of petty cash fund per book is 15,000. Number 1, how much is the cash shortage or overage? Number 2, what is the correct amount of petty cash fund to be shown on the statement of financial position of December 31, 2022?
Okay, so kanina I have an introduction about the petty cash fund, right? So yung petty cash fund po, ginagamit natin sa maliliit na expenses na hindi po pwedeng gamitan ng cheque. Okay? So, remember the accounting for petty cash fund? So, yung pong allowed sa atin or the benchmark treatment for petty cash fund is the impress fund system. Right? Paano po ba yun? So, unang gagawin natin, no? Just a review of your petty cash fund. Magse-set up ka. O, custodian, eto ang 50,000. Gamitin mo as petty cash fund. Together with that, bibigyan natin siya ng petty cash vault or drawer. Lahat ng pera at lahat ng pinagbayaran mo nandiyan dyan sa loob ng vault. Diyan mo siya ilalagay. So to set up, you debit petty cash fund and credit cash and bank. That will be your entry. Now, as you made payment out of petty cash fund, you don't need an entry. You just prepare vouchers to support the payment. Halimbawa, merong kumuha ng pamasahe. O di ilagay mo, traveling. Sino yung kumuha? Sino yung boss nun? O yung immediate supervisor? Right? So, yun po yung nakalagay as part of your vouchers. So, walang entradang kailangan. You just support that by vouchers. Of course, you know what I'm talking about here. Right? Now, when the fund runs low, I gave you 50. Natitira na lang 2,000. You need to replenish. Sa replenishment, check mo lang yung vouchers. Ano yung mga pinagbayarang expenses? May nangutang ba? May prepayments ba? Meron bang cash short or over? And credit, cash in bank. Now, kaya po tinawag na impress system ito. Kung ang original fund ay 15,000, ang natira ay 2,000, upon replenishment, ibabalik natin sa original. So kung natira 2,000, we will prepare a check for 13,000 to restore that to the original amount of 15,000. So that's what you do in the replenishment. Now, in most cases, on F-estate, walang replenishment na nagaganap. So kung wala pong replenishment, what you need is an adjusting journal entry. The adjustment po, pareho lang po. Expenses, advances, prepayments, cash short and over. Kaya lang yung credit po will be made to petty cash fund. As these are all deducted to your petty cash fund and there is no replenishment. Okay? So sa adjustment, parang replenishment lang. Yung credit lang po ang naiiba. Okay? Now, kung sakasakali na yung pong fund na sinet aside mo na 15, 3 days pa lang nauubos, kailangan dagdagan natin. So kung dadagdagan, same entry, debit petty cash, credit cash in bank. Kapag ka naman yung sinet up mo sobrang laki, na halos 2 buwan na, hindi pa nauubos, at nakikita mo, puro employee advances, baka nagpapa 5-6 na itong ating custodian, ginagamit yung pera natin. Bawasan mo to prevent 5-6. Okay? So, bawasan po natin, the entry will be the opposite. Okay. Now, look at the question. Looking for cash short and over. How do we compute for short and over? So, compare mo lang po yung count versus the accountability. Ano ba yung count? Nung binigyan kita ng 15,000, I gave you a drawer or petty cash vault. Sabi ko, lahat ng transaksyon, the vouchers and the money dapat nandiyan dyan. So, nung buksan po natin yung vault, ito yung nakita natin laman. So, bilangin lang po. Count the content of the petty cash drawer or vault. You just have to avoid double counting. Bilangin mo lang daw ito. Basta wala lang double counting. Compare that with the accountability. Ano ba yung accountability ni custodian? Siyempre po, yung sinet up natin. I gave you 15,000 to start with this petty cash fund. Now, kung siya rin po ang nangungulekta ng cash sales at inilalagay din sa vault, that is other funds that was included in the vault. That will be an additional accountability by the custodian. Kung mayroon pong prepayments, that is another accountability. Ano ba yung prepayments? Normally, meron pong humihingi ng pambili ng stamps. Pabili ako ng stamps, bigyan mo ako ng 1,000. Bumili ng stamps. May natira. Yung natira, those are prepayments. The unused portion. Unused supplies or unused stamps should be recognized as prepayment. Kapag ka po yung laman ng ating drawer o yung binilang natin ay mas malaki kesa dun sa kanyang accountability, overage po yan. Ang normal po, yung binilang natin mas maliit kesa sa accountability. And that will, a shortage will happen there. No. So, bali, ganun po. Normal po na merong short. Bakit normal na merong short? Minsan po kasi masyadong maluwag yung custodian. Pahingi akong pamasahe. O sige, eto na. Yung voucher hindi ginawa, hindi pinapirmahan. Mamaya na lang tayo gumawa ng voucher pagbalik mo. O pagbalik, nakalimutan na siya. So, so short. Okay? As you need to prepare vouchers for all expenses paid out of petty cash fund. Now, kapag ka-over, ayan po, diyan kayo magtaka as auditor. Bakit po sobra yung aking account kaysa sa kanyang accountability? Kung meron kayong nakikitang tao na namumulot ng resibo sa grocery, sa Jollibee, sa gasolinahan, right? In most cases, petty cash custodian yan. Anong nangyayari doon? Yung resibo ay pinapasok niya as part of expenses using the petty cash. So in other words, yung napulot niya, kukunin niya yung pera. So siguro nakapulot siya ng resibo worth 1,300. May lakad sila ng papa, kumuha ng 1,000. O may 300 pa ako dyan bukas, ha? Baka humerit si papa eh. Okay. Pagdating kinabukasan, nandun na yung auditor. Halika, mag-count tayo. Ayun, nakita, sobra ng 300. Okay? So yun po yung mga cases wherein sumusobra. So kayo po bilang accountant, yung pong sobra, doon kayo lalong mag-audit ng maayos. Bakit sumobra ito? Inspect the receipt. Tingnan mo po kung legit lahat ng mga resibo na nakalagay doon sa voucher. Pwede ka rin pong mag-ano. Halimbawa, merong resibo ng Jollibee. Nakalagay doon, representation, may bisita si boss. Wala naman pirma ni boss. Ang pumirma yung custodian. Okay? So, bali, sa audit, ang gawin mo, random. Boss, meron ka bang bisita ng ganito na nagpabili ka ng Jollibee? Sasabihin ni boss, ano ko, cheap? Jollibee lang ang ipapakain ko sa aking bisita. Hindi ako nagja-Jollibee. Sabi niya gan, o de nahuli mo na nagnanakaw yung custodian. So yun po yung mga cases wherein sumusobra yung nabilang nating contents ng mall versus the ano. No? So again, yung shortage natin or overage, compare lang yung count. Anong ika-count? Yung laman ng drawer. Ito ang laman ng drawer. You just have to avoid double counting. Okay? Ano ba yung double counting? Kapag cash rin ang umahawak ng cash sales, pagka nagbenta on cash, merong money collected. Gagawa niya ng OR. Yung OR may resibo. So you don't count on the receipt and the money at the same time. That is double counting. So you just count on the money. Okay na po yun. No? So again, compare the count with the accountability. The difference is over or shortage. Now, How much should be recognized as petty cash fund in the statement of financial position? Ganito po. Pag tinatanong ka nito, even without adjusting entries, makukuha mo yan. Hanapin mo lang ito. Remaining currency and coins out of petty cash fund, excluding other funds. Kung ito po may kasamang cash collection, tanggalin mo. Yun lang pera intended for petty cash ang bibilangin mo. Now, for the checks, look for replenishment check. Okay? Look for employee check in payment of their advances acceptable for deposit. So nakikita niyo po dito merong employee check dated December 27, employee check dated January 14. Ano nga po ito? The employee check represents payment for their advances. Kapag ka ang date po is on or before the FS date, that is acceptable for deposit. Whereas, when the date is after, ito po yung post-dated. Pag dineposit mo ng December 31st of 2022, hindi tatanggapin yan. Sasabihin ni teller, balik ka ng January 14, doon mo siya i-deposit. Okay? So, ito po yung sinasabi natin, employee check in payment of their advances acceptable for deposit. The check must be dated on or before the FS date. FS date is December 31st, 2022. Vouchers related to the next accounting period. Ito po. The vouchers dated January. Bakit nagkaroon ng ganyan? December ito. Kapag ka po nag-audit tayo, hindi naman December 31 tayo pumupunta sa opisina para mag-audit. Ito nangyari. Nag-audit tayo January 3. Kaya dumaan pa po yung January 2. Tapos yung current, January 3. Meron na pong pinagbayaran on that date. Kaya po nagkaroon ng vouchers dated January of the following period. Now, since we are only doing this one, yung pong vouchers related to the next accounting period as of December 31st, kaya po natin sinama to, they remain undisbursed. So, hindi pa po natin nababayaran ito. Hindi pa lumalabas yung pera noong December 31st. Since you're only after December 31st, you have to add that back. Okay? So, ito lang po. Yung hanapin nyo when dealing with the petty cash fund to be presented in the statement of financial position. Or you can also do adjustment. Ano ba yung adjustment natin? Kanina meron tayong adjusting entry sa taas. Ano ba yung nakita natin doon? We have expenses, advances, prepayments, cash short and over. Kailan nga ginagawa ito? Pag walang replenishment at year-end. Transactions other than petty cash shall be adjusted separately. Halimbawa, siya rin po ang mahawak ng cash sales. So, syempre po, you don't debit petty cash for that and credit sales. It should be debited to cash in bank and credit sales. Ignore transactions related to the next accounting period. Since you are only doing December, you ignore this one. If you recognize this as expense for December, that will overstate your expense. Okay? Kaya ignore po natin yan. So ito po yung medyo crucial when dealing with your petty cash fund. Okay. Sige, simulan natin. Cash shortage or overage. Compare the count and the accountability. Anong bibilangin? Contents of the petty cash vault. Avoid double counting. Nung buksan ko yung vault, ito po yung laman. May natitirang pera. Merong vouchers in payment for expenses dated December and dated January kasi January 3 ako nagbilang. Meron din pong vouchers representing IOUs by employees. Empleyado bumali. Wala akong pamasahe, pautang naman ng 100 dyan. Ang dami nila. Porto po yung napautang natin. Meron namang empleyado nangutang nag-issue ng cheque. So yung 2.8 actually pwede mo nang i-encash, pwede natin isama yan as part of petty cash fund. Right? But like this one, nangutang nag-issue ng cheque, Okay? Pero hindi po natin ma-income si cheque, so this one remains a receivable or advances to employees. Okay? Now, the next one is unsigned pay envelope. So, yung pong isang pay envelope, siguro po para to dun sa empleyadong nag-resign, tapos ni-release yung pay envelope, wala naman siya. Custodian, pakihawak mo to. Pag dumating yung empleyado, ibigay mo. Okay? So dito magkakaroon ng incidence of double counting kapag kakilaunt natin yung nakalagay sa envelope at saka yung pera at the same time. So we just count on the money. Paano yun? Wala nga yung pera dito. Ang sabi, the envelope has been opened and the money has been removed. So anong magiging thinking natin doon? Kinuha po yung pera sa loob, pinanukle. So napasama dito yung ating unclaimed payroll. Okay? So, hindi na po natin bibilangin ito, yung envelope. Yung pera lang. Yung pera nakasama na po dito. Pagka binilang natin yung pera and the envelope at the same time, double counting yan. Ang sabi natin, when you're doing the count, we avoid double counting. Okay? So, yung count, klaro, ano? Bibilangin ko lahat. I just avoid this one as there will be double counting. Kung may pera sa loob, kasama yan. You count on the money. Okay? Kung walang pera, yung pera assume na kasama dito. Alright? So, sige. So, pagka nag-count, titingnan lang natin yung laman ng drawer. Anong nakita natin? There is bills and coins of 7,300. Okay. There are vouchers in payment for expenses dated December in the amount of 850. There are also vouchers dated January as we do the audit January 3 in the amount of 200. So in other words, total vouchers must be 1,050. In addition to that, meron pong nangutang na empleyado bumali ng 4,200. Employee check dated December 27, 28. Employee check dated January 14, 4,250. Ayan. So, nakita niyo po, hindi natin sinama to. Bakit po hindi sinama? Magkakaroon ng double counting kapag isinama natin yan. Bakit double counting? Yung pera kasi wala. Kung may pera sa loob, kasama po yan. Kung wala yung pera, assume natin na sinama dito, pinanukle. Okay? So, per count, you have 19,600. So, wala po kayong nakitang mahirap dito. Binuksan lang natin yung drawer. Ito yung laman. Nilista lang natin kung ano yung laman. In-avoid lang natin tong double counting. Okay? Now, compare the count versus the accountability. Ano po ba yung accountability niya? The amount we set up. Initially, we set up 15,000. Okay? Other funds. Ito, the unsigned pay envelope. Hindi po petty cash yan. No? So this is other funds entrusted to your custodian. 5,000. Right? So the accountability is 20,000. Ayan. Nung bilangin natin, 19,600. Kulang. Okay? So kung kulang po, magkano yung short? Now, the next question is the amount of petty cash fund to be shown in the statement of financial position by December 31st. So anong sabi natin kanina? Look for the remaining currency and coins excluding other funds. Ito po yung natirang pera. 7.3. But based on our audit, kasama dito to. 5,000. That is an other funds, right? So you only recognize the petty cash, you don't include the other funds. So 7.3 minus 5,000, the money out of your petty cash must only be 2,300. Okay? Sa check naman, look for replenishment check or employee check acceptable for deposit. So yung employee check, dalawa. Ito lang po yung acceptable. Anong sabi natin? The date of the check must be on or before the FS date to be acceptable for deposit as of the FS date. Okay? So, ayan po. Employee check, 2,800 ba yan? 2,800. Replenishment check. Wala naman po tayong nakitang replenishment check dito. Anong? Vouchers related to the next accounting period. Ito po, the vouchers dated January. And that amounts to 200. Again, bakit mo isasama yan? As of December 31st, that remains undisbursed. Hindi pa natin nagagamit yan as of that date. Okay? So, in that case, the correct amount of petty cash must be, tama ba yan? 5,1? Can you add all of this? Yan, 5,3, no? So, the total amount or correct balance of petty cash must be 2,3. Kanina, pinag-uusapan natin yung entries related to petty cash. Right? So, nung mag-set up tayo, we debit petty cash fund for the amount that you set up, which is 15,000. Pagka may expenses, walang entrada. Pag may replenishment, you need an entry. Pag walang replenishment, which is what happened in this case, we need to prepare an adjusting journal entry. So ano nga po ang hahanapin natin sa adjustment? All expenses paid out of petty cash fund, advances, prepayments, cash short and over, other transactions must be adjusted separately. So let's focus on the petty cash fund adjustment. No? So we look for expenses, advances, prepayments, cash short and over. So nasan po yung expenses? Ito. The vouchers represent expenses paid out of petty cash fund. Ito po. 850. So this is 850. Ito. IOU ng utang yung empleyado. Ito po, hindi na po ito utang kasi po pwede na nating i-encash. Ito, utang pa rin. Because as of December 31st, that cannot be encashed. So in other words, ito po is advances. This one also remains an advances. Ayan. Advances or receivable to employee. Nangutang yung empleyado. Oo. Hindi pa natin ma-encash yung cheque kasi po, ano po siya. No? So, paki-add nga po yung total advances here. Is that 8,450? Tama
Yes
ba?
po.
Okay. 8,450. So again, we look for expenses, advances, prepayments, cash short and over. Okay? So ito na po si advances. Walang prepayments. Kanina na-determine natin that there is shortage of 400. So 400. Sa actual, ang ginagawa po natin dyan, pagka na-short si custodian, bayaran niya. So you can also debit receivable from custodian. Okay? Pero yung ibang kumpanya na medyo maluwag, nilalagay na lang as cash short and over. Pagka naka-debit siya, ibig sabihin, shortage, nasa miscellaneous expense or miscellaneous office general expense, no? Kung nasa credit naman, nasa miscellaneous income siya. So dahil wala pong replenishment, the credit will be to petty cash fund. Paki-add nga po ito. Pagkano po lahat ito?
9,700 po.
9,700. So in the adjustment, meron tayo ditong credit to petty cash fund of 9,700. So 15,000 minus 9,700, the balance. Nakita niyo po. So we prove this amount. In other words, even without me doing the adjusting entry, I can answer this easily. Okay? So ano lang po yung ginawa natin yan? Wala, tinignan lang natin yung remaining currency and coins. Sa check, chinek natin kung may replenishment or employee check. Ito meron, ito wala. Ano? Yung vouchers for the next period, in-unback natin kasi hindi pa siya nagagastos as of December 31st. So that is the balance to your petty cash. So actually, sa actual ito, itong gagawin nyo. Pero for examination purposes, to make it easy for you, just look for this. And it's done. Okay? So, naintindihan po ba? Again, ano po ang crucial? Sa count, determining the short and over. Compare the count and the accountability. Ano po ang ika-count? Yung laman ng drawer o ng petty cash vault. Ito ang laman ng drawer. Walang special dito. No, tiningnan ko lang kung anong laman. I just avoid double counting. Tapos kinumpare ko sa accountability. Anong accountability niya? Yung sinet up natin, other funds, and any prepayments. Pag sobra yung count, over, normally kulang, like this one, that will be short. Okay? Tapos, sa adjustment natin, we look for expenses, advances, prepayments, and cash short and over. Dahil walang replenishment, the credit will be made to petty cash fund. Naintindihan niyo po ako? Ayan. So I think you also have that one yesterday. Meron ba kayong ano na sa petty cash fund? Sa audit prob nyo kahapon? Did you discuss this one already? Not yet.
Not yet.
Hindi pa po, sir.
Hindi. Okay. Sige. Tuloy pa natin. Ha? Tuloy pa natin. Sige. Makikibasa muna ako. Please. Don't worry about the solution. I will give you the solution later. No? So you just listen. You can ask question anytime. Okay? So dito po. Ito po yung last chance nyo para magtanong. Sa actual review kasi hindi kayo pwedeng magtanong. Pero kami, lenient po kami. Gusto namin tinatanong. Mas magaling po kung magtatanong kayo. Okay? Sige. Tawag lang, Liza.
Cristel Garcia po.
Cristel.
An examination on the morning of January 2, 2023 by the auditor for the Joseph Company discloses the following items in the petty cash drawer. Postage stamps 220, currency and coins 1,156.60, IOUs from members of the office staff 1,210, an envelope containing collection for a gift for a departing employee with office names attached 350, petty cash vouchers for miscellaneous expenses including EPCB for stamps purchase for 450, 985, employees check pass dated January 15, 2023, 1,500, employees check Mark Daif, 1,890, check Jumpy Joseph Company to petty cash 3,450 equals 10,761.60. The ledger account disclosed a 10,500 balance for petty cash.
Okay. So, you have the same question here. Pakigawa nyo nga. I-try nyo lang to answer this one. So, remember, How do you get the cash short and over? No? Compare the count and the accountability. Anong ika-count? Yung pong laman ng drawer. Ano bang laman? Ito ang laman ng drawer. Okay? Avoid nyo lang yung double counting. Compare sa accountability. Ano yung accountability? Yung sinet up natin. Initially, we set up 10.5. Kung merong other funds included in the drawer, that will be an accountability. Kung merong prepayments like unused postage, that will be the accountability of the custodian. Compare the two. You'll get the short or over. Okay? Petty cash in the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Look for this. Currency and coins excluding other funds. Replenishment check. Employee check in payment for advances acceptable for deposit. And the vouchers related to the next accounting period. Okay? Kung may oras pa kayo, you do the adjustment to prove this one. Okay? So everybody focus, no? So ina-assume ko na wala pa po kayong alam, kaya sinisimulan ko dun sa ibinigay ko sa inyo, sa itinuturo ko sa inyo, no? Now, kailangan po nagsosolve tayo para practice po yan. Yung iba po kasi hindi nagsosolve, nangyayari pagka actual examination, parang alam niya, hindi niya ma-start kung paano kasi walang training. Okay? So, sige, subukan niyo po. Try to answer these two. Pwede na ba 3 minutes yan? Sige, I'll give you 3 minutes, ha? Hungry ka na. So, Magkano po yung ating cash shortage or overage? Anybody? Anybody may answer? No?
Sir, try lang po.
Yes. How much?
308.40 po.
308 daw, 0.40. Sino to? Are you Liza?
Yes
Anong
po.
pangalan? Anong pangalan mo, Iha?
Liza po.
Liza, oo, si Liza, oo. Tingnan natin kung nagsasabi ng totoo si Liza. No? Ang sagot niya raw dito is 308.40. Again, compare the count and the accountability. Count the contents. So, yung contents po natin. Ayan. So, when we do the count, nakita natin meron pong natitirang stamps worth 220. 56 and 60 cents. Oops. An envelope containing collection for a gift for departing employee with office name attached. Okay, tandaan, kapag walang pera yung envelope, ibig sabihin, yung pera pinanukli, sinama dito. Pero meron pong pera containing collection. Okay? So we will count on this. Ito po yung incidents na pwedeng magkaroon ng double counting. Tandaan, pag wala yung pera, do not count or do not include in the count. Since the money is intact in the envelope, we will do the count. So we will include this on our count. So this is 350. Doon po pwedeng mangyari yung double counting. Ano? Tapos you have the vouchers in payment for expenses including the stamps purchase. So lahat po nung pinagbayaran kasama yung stamp is 985. Okay? So this is 985. Yan. Employee post-dated check 1.5. Employee DAIP check. Ano po yung DAIP? Drawn against insufficient fund. NSF. Nag-issue ng cheque, wala namang pondo. Talbog. So this remains a receivable. Ano? 1,890. Check drawn to petty cash. And then replenishment check. 3,450. So ano pong nakita natin? Wala, binilang lang natin lahat eh. Wala naman double counting. So binilang ko lang lahat as is. 10,761.60. Okay? Compare natin sa accountability. Ano nga yung accountability? The setup, other funds, and prepayments. We set up 10,500. Okay? So yung setup natin is 10,500. Section para sa empleyado kasama dun sa petty cash drawer. Okay? So accountability niya po yan. For 220. That is prepayments. Ayan. So magkano po lahat ito?
11,070 po.
1170. Kailan? 11,070. Okay? Nung bilangin natin, ito lang ang laman. 10,761. De, pak naman dyan para kay Liza. Ayan. So the correct amount of shortage is 308 and 40 cents. Ngayon, dito naman tayo. Without doing the adjusting entry. How much petty cash will you present in your balance sheet? Anybody? Magkano po? Ano nga hanapin ko? Yes?
4,606.60 po, sir.
Ito raw. Letter C. I-check natin, ano? So, anong sabi natin kanina? Kapag wala kang adjusting entry, hanapin mo lang ito. Currency and coins excluding other funds. Ito po. Currency and coins, 1156. Wala namang kasama kasi yung envelope po, intact po yung money doon. No? So, 1156 and 60 cents. Ayan. Okay. We also look for replenishment check. Ito po. Check issued to petty cash is the replenishment check. 3,450. We also look for employee check. Acceptable for deposit. Dalawa yung check eh. Pareho po siyang hindi acceptable for deposit. Kaya hindi po natin siya isasama. Ano? Vouchers related to the next period. Nung mag-audit tayo January 2, holiday noong January 1, bagong taon ano. Dumating tayo morning, kaya wala tayong nakitang vouchers dated January. So, wala ito. Okay? So, ayun. Ang galing talaga ni Liza. 4606.60. Prove natin kung tama yan. Initially, I set up 10,500. So, 10,500 ito. 10,500. Tapos, let's do the adjustment. Ano nga pong hahanapin natin sa adjusting entry? All expenses paid out of petty cash fund. Advances, prepayments, cash short and over. So, ang visible po dito, nakakita tayo ng vouchers for miscellaneous expense inclusive of the stamps worth 450. Kasama na dito. Kaya lang hindi nagamit yung 220. Yung po yung prepayments. The unused postage. The unused postage amounts to 220. Pagka kasi expense, gamit na. Ito hindi pa po nagagamit. So this is an asset. Unused postage. In other words, out of the expense of 985, 220 is unused. So magkano po yung nagamit o yung expense part? 985 minus 220. Is that 765? Tama ba? Use your calculator, everybody. Okay. Now, we look for advances. So yung advances natin, ito. IOU. Ito po, no? So this is advances. Employee post-dated check. Another advances. Employee check. Mark date. Nagbayad, talbog. The receivable pa rin or advances. Paki-add nga po yung tatlong advances natin. Magkano po lahat? 1 to 10?
1,600 po.
4,600, iya? Ganon?
Yes.
Okay. 4,600. Yung short na compute na natin kanina. There is short of 308 and 40 cents. Okay? So, yung summation nito, paki-double check ka kung tama po ito. Yung total debit, tapos credit to petty cash. Is this correct? Can you add all of this, please? Tama po ba yung 5893 as credit to petty cash fund?
Yes po.
Okay. So, this is 5893. and 40 cents. Ayan. So, debit minus the adjustment, the credit part of 5,893 and 40 cents, the amount left to your petty cash must be 4,606 and 60 cents. Amen?
Amen, sir.
Ayun. So, ganun lang po yung petty cash. Di ba? Panis. Walang kakwenta-kwenta. Ayun. Galing ni Liza. No? May CPA na ako dito. Liza, kung may boyfriend ka, dapat pakasalan ka na nun bago ka maging CPA. Baka magbago isip mo eh.
Looking for.
Okay. Now, let's see number 6. So again, kapag ka po meron kayong hindi naintindihan, you can always ask me. Okay? Hindi naman ako, behave naman ako pagka may nagtatanong. Hindi po ako nagagalit sa nagtatanong. I like that kasi that is learning. Okay? So, yan po yung ating number 5. Sige. Again, compute for this. This time, ang tinatanong po, replenishment. Ano pong pagkakaiba ng replenishment doon sa adjusting entry? Pareho lang except the credit will be cash in bank. Okay? So, yun po yung magiging credit natin. Ang tanong dito, credit lang eh. Right? O ang possible answer natin, A or B. Right? Alin kaya dito ang ating magiging sagot? Okay, sige, compute. Baka naman pag uwi mo mamaya, Liza, mag-asawa ka na ha. Wag mo na.
Di ba, sir? Graduation muna, sir.
Oo. Pag CPA ka muna.
Bala na po, sir.
Anong bahala? Magaling ka. Sayang yun. Sayang. So anybody, magkano po yung ating cash shortage?
po.
300 daw? Oo, naniniwala ba kayo kay Liza o baka nambobola na to? Check natin ha, Liza ha?
Sir, di po ako yun, sir. Nagsasagot pa lang po ako.
Okay. Sino yun? Sorry. Sino ba yung nagsalita? Dele, anong pangalan mo? Sino yung sumagot, Liza? Ayan, nahiya na siya tuloy. Okay. So, 300 ang sagot niya, no? Check natin, ha? So, when we open the vault, anong nakita natin? We have the following vouchers. Diba? Okay? In addition to that, meron pang natitirang cash na 756. Tapos masyado raw maliit ito. Gawin daw natin 12,000. So dadagdagan natin ng 2,000. Ano? Okay? So let's see. Sa count, check on the contents. Ano nga po yung nakita natin sa contents? Ito po yung laman, ano? Vouchers in payment for office supplies. Wala namang natira, kaya pwede nating office supplies expense yan. 3,920. Okay? Meron daw ng utang. IOU from employees. Bumali. Walang pamasahe. 1,200. Ganyan talaga kamahal ang pamas. 98. Delivery, ano? 2298. Siguro nagpa-grab. Wala naman pong unused supplies, walang prepayments, ano? Wala ring other funds. So that's the only accountability. Ayan, 10,000. Now, ganito lang. Sabi natin, pagka-impress system, ibabalik natin yung natitirang pera sa desired amount. Dati po 10, kaya lang gusto natin gawin 12, right? Ang natitira is 756. How do we make this? How do we make this 12,000? Eh de mag-issue po tayo ng cheque. Mag-issue tayo ng cheque worth 11,244 to make that 12,000 because we want to increase the fund from 10,000 to 12,000. And then, magke-credit tayo ng cash in bank for 11,244. Now, we look for expenses. Expenses, office supplies expense, delivery, miscellaneous. So, office supplies expense amounts to 3,920. Delivery is 2,298. Ayan. Tapos, merong advances. Expenses, advances, prepayments. Ito po yung advances natin. 1, 2. So, we have the expenses, advances, wala namang prepayments, cash short and over. We determine that there is shortage of 3. Ayan. Now, yung petty cash natin used to be 10, gusto natin gawing 12. So, dadagdagan natin ng 2,000. Ayan. So, this is your entry to record the replenishment. Paki-double check nga. Paki-add nga po yung ating total debit. Is that 11,244?
Yes po, sir.
Yes. So, ayun. Ano nga po si Impress System? Yung natitirang pera, ibabalik natin doon sa desired amount na gusto. Kung hindi natin dadagdagan, dapat ito, babalik lang natin doon sa original. Okay? Kaya lang, masyadong maliit, kaya dilagdagan natin ng 2,000. Kaya gagawin natin yung natitirang pera, gagawin natin sa 12,000, which is the amount inclusive of the increase of 2,000. Okay? So the correct answer must be letter B. Ganun po pagka-impress system. Okay? Yeah. Nauunawaan niyo ba ako? I hope so.
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Now, number 7. Look at this. The entity wrote a check to replenish the fund. Ang tanong dito, what is the amount of replenishment under the Impress Fund system? Okay? I'm giving you 5 seconds to answer this. Para maibalik mo dun sa original. Magkano yung original? Original fund is established for 20,000. May natira bang pera? Amount left is this. So how much is the replenishment check? How do I make 2,550? 20,000 again. I will credit cash for the balance. Magkano yung balance? 20 minus 2,550 is that 17,450. So 17,450 ano? Oh. So again, originally 20,000 yan. Ang natirang pera 2,550. Pag nag-replenish ako, ibabalik ko lang sa 20,000. So I will be preparing a check for 17,450. The difference between the two. Okay? So ganun lang po yung ating petty cash fund. Any questions so far? Sana madagdagan yung CPA ko. Meron ng dalawa ha. Meron na akong dalawang CPA dyan. Okay, now, the other topic related to your cash is about the bank reconciliation. So ano po ba yung bank reconciliation? When you say reconciliation, to bring into agreement. Oo. Halimbawa, ano? Si Liza, LQ sila nung kanyang jowa. Bakit ba sila nag-LQ? Kasi meron silang differences. Merong ginagawa si Liza na ayaw ng boyfriend. Ganon din naman yung boyfriend niya, may ginagawa na ayaw ni Liza. So, hindi po sila nagkakasundo o hindi nagtutugma. Sa problem natin, ang pagkakasunduin po natin is the record by the depository. Yun po yung tinatawag yung book. And the bank. Tingnan niyo po, sa bangko nakalagay 2 million dito, 850. Hindi sila tugma. Kaya gagawa natin ng reconciling. Bakit nga po hindi sila nagtutugma? Meron kasi silang differences. Anong differences? Merong ginawa si Liza na hindi ginawa ng boyfriend. Merong ginawa yung boyfriend na hindi ginawa ni Liza. Okay? Those are your reconciling items. Okay? So, dalawa ang pinag-uusapan. The book and the bank. Pag sinabing book, these are the records maintained by the depositor. Pag sinabi naman bank, this is the records by the bank. From the point of view of the book or depositor, the book maintains cash in bank account, which is an asset. Kaya normally, yung balance nakikita nyo sa debit side, as that is the normal balance for cash or an asset. Yun namang bank, pag may pera ka sa bangko, may utang sa iyo sa bangko. So the bank maintains a liability account. The normal balance for liability is credit. Kaya normally yung balance nakikita nyo on the credit side. Okay? Now, bakit hindi nagtutugma? Meron pong ginawa yung bangko na wala kay book. Meron ding ginawa yung book na wala kay bangko. Okay. Dito muna tayo sa book. The reconciling items on the book sides are those originating from the bank with the exception of bank error, not recognized by the book yet. In other words, yung ginawa ng bangko na wala sa'yo except for the error. Yun po ang iyong reconciling item. An example of that is credit memo. Ano ba yung credit memo? Kinredit ni bangko. Pag sinabing kinredit ni bangko, idinagdag ni bangko dun sa ating account. These are items added by the bank to our account not representing deposit that we made. An example of that is collection made by the bank on our behalf. Kayo ay nagbabayad ng kuryente diretso sa bangko. That is collection by the bank on behalf of Meralco. Sa tubig, sa cellphone, and so on. When the bank made the collection will be added to our account. So it was added to our account but not recognized by the book yet as they don't do the collection. So hindi po sila magtutugma o hindi magtatali. Para magtali, i-add natin yung credit memo na inad ni bangko. On the opposite, meron naman pong debit memo. Pag sinabing debit memo, dinebit ni bangko o ibinawas ni bangko dun sa ating account. So these are items deducted not representing checks that we issue. A good example of that is your bank charges. Bank charges are deductions by the bank not recognized by the book yet. Binawas ni bangko kay book wala, so hindi magtatali. Para magtali, ibawas mo rin. Kay book lahat ng debit memos like bank charges, NSF, automatic payment. Automatic payment may be automatic payment for loans or automatic payment for utilities, kung ano man po yung naagrehan nyo ni bangko. Siyempre, kung may error, kung sino po ang may error, we will correct the record of that party. Okay? So, bali ano pong gagawin natin sa reconciling kay book? Lahat ng galing kay bangko. The origin is the bank, except for the errors. Not yet recognized by the book. Those are my reconciling items for the book. On the other hand, sa bangko naman, lahat ng galing kay book, except for the errors. And is not yet recognized by the bank. Si book naman, deposit and withdrawal lang yan eh. Meron tayong tinatawag na deposit in transit. Ano ba yung deposit in transit? Ito po yung collection at the end of the month. Upon collection, you debit cash in bank, credit receivable. So you assume that it will be put in the bank. Ano ba yung sistema? Ang sistema po natin yan, diba? Remember the impress system? All collection for the day must be deposited intact. The latest will be next day. Unless it's a holiday. Right? Yung po yung deposit in transit. Sometimes you call that undeposited collection. The deposit originates from the book that was already added by the book, but not recognized by the bank as they will only receive that tomorrow. Tomorrow is another month. Collection at the end of September, deposited October 1. The next day, added by the book, not recognized by the bank, so hindi magtatali. Para po magtali, it will also be added to the bank. And you call that deposit in transit or undeposited collection. Outstanding checks. Checks originates from the book. When the book issued a check, they will debit expenses or payable and credit cash in bank. Credit cash in bank, so deducted to the cash account. Ano ba yung outstanding check? Nag-issue ako ng 10 cheque. Yung 7 na i-encash, yung 3 hindi. Hindi pa dinadala sa bangko. That is the outstanding check. But when we issue the check, we already prepare an entry crediting cash in bank. That was deducted by the book, but not deducted to the bank yet as the check is not presented to them yet. So, hindi na naman magtatali. Para magtali o mag-reconcile, the outstanding check should also be deducted to your bank. Okay? So, kung may error, whoever commit the error, correct the record of that party. So, yan lang po. Ano nga po ang reconciling kay book? Lahat ng galing kay bangko except for the errors. Not yet recognized by the book, like credit memo and debit memo. In addition, kung may error siya, correct the record of that party who commit the error. Kay bangko, ano naman ang reconciling? Lahat po nang galing kay book except for book error, not recognized by the bank. Like deposit in transit, outstanding check. Kung may error si bangko, correct the record of the bank for the errors. Okay? Sige, tingnan po natin dito. Balance per bank statement, 2 million. Ito pa, ano? Bakit nasa credit yung 2 million? The bank maintains a liability account. The normal balance is credit. Balance per book, 850. The book maintains an asset account, cash in bank. 850, which is an asset. Okay? So sa opening pa lang, hindi na po sila tugma. Kaya gagawa natin ng reconciliation. Outstanding check. Who's the origin? The origin is the book. That was deducted by the book, but not yet deducted by the bank yet. So kung ang origin is the book, that will be reconciling item by the other party. Kung anong ginawa ni book, when the check was issued, it was deducted to cash, i-deduct din natin yung outstanding checks to balance or to reconcile. The outstanding checks amounts to 500, including certified check. Ano ba to? Ano ba itong certified check na to? Kung meron kang kliyente na nag-i-issue lagi ng cheque at lagi naman tumatalbog dahil walang pondo, do not accept the check unless it is certified. Ano yun? Gagawa siya ng cheque, dadali niya sa kanyang bangko. Tatatakan ng bangko ng certified. Tapos yung pera, ibabawas na ni bangko dun sa deposit. Para pag dumating yung cheque, siguradong merong laman. Intended na yan para sa checking yan. In other words, the certified check has been deducted by the bank already. Kaya hindi na po natin isasama sa outstanding. You only recognize 400 as outstanding. Okay? As the certified check has been deducted by the bank already. Deposit in transit. Deposit originates from the book. So that one was added by the book when the collection happens at the end of the month. It will be deposited tomorrow morning, which is another month already. Added by the book. So origin is the book, not recognized by the bank. To reconcile, we will also add to the bank the deposit in transit or undeposited collection. So magkano po? Deposit in transit amounts to 200. Ayan. Nakita niyo, no? Origin si book, reconciling ni bank. Kung anong ginawa ni book, gagawin mo rin kay bank para magtali sila. Okay? Now, the next item, LSF check. Ano ba yung LSF check? Nakakolekta ako sa clients. So, nung makolekta ko, ganitong ginawa ko. Upon collection, the-record ko siya as cash in bank and credit account receivable. Doon tanggapin ni bangko, isinama as part of his liability. Ayan. Tumalbog. Walang pondo. Tinanggal ni bangko. Kaya yung NSF, ang origin is the bank. Okay? That was deducted by the bank but not recognized by the book yet. So to reconcile, ibabawas din natin kay book. LSF check must be deducted. The LSF is 150, kaya lang nare-deposit yung 50. So ang natira na lang is 100. Ano ba yun? In-inform mo yung company. Hoy, yung inisyo mong cheque, walang pondo. Sabi niya, sige po, popondohan ko ngayon, paki-redeposit na lang. Pagka nire-deposit po, tingnan niyo yung clearing period. Pagka nag-clear, on or before the FS date, okay na yan. Hindi na po siya NSF. Okay? So, good na po yan. So, in other words, kung ang clearing naganap ng January, NSF siya until as of December 31st. Okay? So, ito po yung importante dito. The clearing date ng amount redeposited. Now, since it's cleared on or before December 31st, hindi na po siya NSF. Tanggalin natin. Kaya 100 po siya. No? Erroneous credit. Anong sabi natin? Kung sino ang nagkamali, correct the record of that party. Erroneous credit to Oslo representing loans granted to another entity. Sino bang nagkamali dito? Ang nagkamali si Bangko. Erroneous credit. Ibig sabihin, dilagdag ni Bangko. Hindi naman para sa atin. Nagdagdag lang 1, hindi para sa atin, tanggalin mo yung 1. Okay? To correct the error. So the erroneous credit is for how much? 300,000. Ayan. 300,000. Notes collected by the bank. Collection happens on the bank side. When the bank paid the collection, it was added by the bank. So origin is the bank, reconciling the book. Added by the bank, not recognized by the book. To reconcile, we will also add the collection by the bank in the amount of 750. Okay? Total debit minus the credit $2,200,000 minus 700. Adjusted balance is 1,500. Pareho na po sila. No? Now, ang nakikita nyo nung araw, lagi pong itong statement. Ano? Simula halimbawa dito, pareho rin po yan . Ito yung analysis kung paano po nagawa yung ating statement. Unadjusted balance or balance per book, 850. Tapos dinagdag lang natin to. Collection by the bank. Magkano po yung collection by the bank? Adjusted book balance is this. Yun din po yan. Ano? Sa bangko naman, unadjusted balance is 2 million. We have this one. Deposit in transit. Binawas natin itong dalawa. Outstanding check of 400. And the error of 300. For total deduction of 700. Sa adjusting journal entry, titingnan mo lang yung reconciling item ni book. We are the accountant for the depositor. Huwag yung gagalawin yung bangko. Dito lang po tayo titingin. Lahat ng reconciling item niya, yun po ang ating adjustment. Halimbawa, ito. Yung number 1, ano pong nakita natin dito sa number 1 natin ito? So, sa number 1, ang nakita po natin, it was added or debited to cash and bank. May debit na ako. Debit cash and bank. Ano ba to? Collection of notes and the credit notes receivable. Okay. That is 750. Wala bang kasama yung 750? Let's just check the original. Collection by the bank. Ayun, proceeds of note collected is one. Net of service charge. Ayun, may service charge pala. So sa adjustment, cash in bank, 750. Debit bank charges for the service charge of 20. Credit notes receivable. So number 2 ito naman. So adjustment number 2. Anong ginawa natin dito? Kinredit natin yung cash in bank. So may credit na tayo. Ano ba yung NSF? Collection. Tumalbog. When you do the collection, yung debit account receivable, debit cash, credit AR. Wala namang nakolekta, reverse the entry. So debit account receivable and credit cash in bank. Okay? The amount is 100. Ayan po. So nakita niya, ano? Yung adjusting galing lang po dun sa ating reconciling item on the book side. As we are the auditor for the depositor. Ito yung formal statement. Okay? So kung ang ginagawa niyo naman is just for computation purposes, ito na po yung pinaka the best way. Using your account. Okay? So again, on the part of the book, ano po ang reconciling item? Those that originates from the bank, like credit memo. The collection by the bank was added or credited by the bank. To reconcile, we also add to the book. Okay? Credit memo, debit memo, deducted, so we also deduct to reconcile. Okay? Sa bangko naman, ano naman ang reconciling item? Siyempre po yung deposit in transit and outstanding checks, plus the errors. Kung may error si book, same thing. Ganun din lang. So, anong ginawa natin? We check on the origin. Kung anong ginawa ng origin, gagawin natin sa kabila to reconcile para po magtigma. Anong naman mo? Okay? So, ganun lang po yung ating reconciliation. Any violent reaction so far? Face-to-face, Saturday. Okay, parang may communication po yung ating director. Pwede kayong pwede kayong mag-breakfast muna kayo. I'll give you a short break. Habang nagbe-breakfast kayo, pakigawa nyo naman yung number 9. Ang gara, parang walang break Okay? Paglaruan nyo po yung number 9 habang kayo ay kumakain. No? So, nagko-communicate lang yung aking posing Si paring Mac. Nakuha niya na. Namit yun na si Mac. Sir Macmood, namit yun na. Yes. Liza, are you talking to me?
Hindi pa po, sir.
Ay, hindi pa. Kailan lang meeting niyo sa kanya?
Wait lang po, sir. Check ko lang po. Sir, sa Friday pa po siya sa amin, sir.
Friday. Oo. So,
Sa
don't miss
business
that.
law po.
Oo. Yung imimission ng director natin yan. Yes, yeah. Ano yung tinatanong pa nila, Liza?
Sir, nakapag-message na po ako sa inyo kanina po.
Kanina? Anong message mo sa akin kanina? Baka Liza may Dison yan. Ang galing mo talaga.
Sir,
Wala Ano pa?
Sir, sa ano po, sir, sa messenger po siya.
Nice one, Liza May. Sa Messenger. Okay.
Yes po, sir.
Oo, akala ko chat mo dito eh. Check ko ha. Everybody, kumuha na po kayo ng breakfast nyo. I'll give you a short break. Habang nagbe-breakfast, ano po yung next problem. Okay, nandiyan na ba kayo? Everybody's back? Liza, makikitawag